Good evening. Now today what I want to do is something a little bit unusual, but I think very useful from the consumer point of view. And that is to match up and compare two very well loved popular brands of a great variety from a specific country. So what I've got is a Club Wolf Point Sauvignon Blanc with a very well-known shop and garage Sauvignon Blanc, and they're both from Chile. Right, so what I want to do here is they're very close to one another in price point. In fact, I think they were both $7.99. You know, how do they compare? Now, to go right deep behind the scenes, it's not impossible that this Club label is made by the same people as that. And that's the label they put out for the British shop. And that's the label that you buy from the Club. I don't know that it's true, but it could well be. It is in some cases, okay? This could be an independent winemaker, or it could be part of this stable, right? We don't always know. But what we do want to do is to compare shop bought wines with club wines and see if there's any difference. Now, these are very pertinent examples because they're both the same price. They're both very well known, or this one's well known, you know, if you're in the club. And I think they're going to perform brilliantly for this really consumer driven review today. So this is the Cellar del Diablo. It's 13%. It's very fresh. It's 2023. And as you can probably see there, they're really going towards the lime zest. It's got a very pleasing stone cut nose with some suggestion of almond blossom and possibly pineapple notes. It's pretty mouth-filling. It's utterly delicious. It makes you want to drink more and more. I would say it's, you know, absolutely some meadow herbs, massive lime zest, but also some peach in there as well. It's not massively complex, and it is pretty still cut. To my mind, Sauvignon Blanc is the least floral and the least complex of all wine varieties. But let's see how this one compares now. So this is Wolf Point Sauvignon Blanc, 12.5%, and this is 2022. This is Vale Central, and this one is, doesn't say, just wine of Chile. I mean, everything about the label says knock them out, millions of them, you know, cheap as chips for the British shop market. And this one says, we've taken a little bit of time and trouble over the label, and we think you'd enjoy this. But they could be the same wine in the bottles. So let's see if that's true. I'm getting a bit of roast chicken on the nose on that one. I'm getting, it's a much, they're both very fresh, but this one is a much more, I want to say it's much more liquid, which is the daftest thing to say. But this one is somehow, to my mind, more concentrated. It's actually very interesting to taste them side by side. This one to me has a great deal of purity and, you know, vibrant freshness, which just throws itself down your throat as quickly as it can. And it's very friendly wine. It says, you know, I love you. This wine is slightly different, possibly the connotation of Diablo, but this wine to me says, I don't love you, I love myself. They are two of the most remarkably similar wines I've ever tasted anywhere. You've always got that psychological problem that they came out of different bottles, you know, and how different are they really? Or is it you stretching your imagination? This is massively still cut, big lime zest, as I said, but this one, there's a lot more simple purity in there. Having tasted the two together, previously I said this one is very big on the lime zest, but actually I would say this one is much bigger on the lime zest, and this one is coming across much more as a New Zealand. So I'm starting to sort of sense some lemon in there, lemon thyme, lemon peel even. There seems to be more complexity in this one, and there seems to be more sort of simple freshness in this one. They're both fantastically good bargains for the money, I think, you know, compared to what else you can buy. This is a go-to for me as a shop wine because I know I'm going to get a good £8 worth and I'm going to enjoy the drink. Sauvignon Blanc is not the most foodie wine. It's a pretty difficult wine to really and truly match with anything. Fish is probably your best, and a creamy pasta, but I tend to prefer drinking these type of really zingy Sauvignons actually just on their own, and they're perfect for a hot summer's day when you want to read outside on a deck chair. But at this time of year they can provide a bit of excitement in between the creamier, you know, white burgundies, chardonnays. White Burgundy often is Chardonnay, but it's not always. Sometimes it's Allegate. And, you know, perhaps Riesling, Viognier, Vermentino that you might be enjoying. I would say one thing for sure. There is no way I would grace any Christmas dinner or any Christmas at all with Sauvignon Blanc. Not unless it was Sancerre. That's the only one I'd go for. Sauvignon Blanc is not suitable for your Christmas table. So why would you put 3 Sauvignon Blancs into a Christmas case? There is no sense in there whatsoever. Sauvignon Blanc is far too widely distributed. It's not the most interesting white grape. It's an aficionado grape. If you like a steel cut sword, you'll like it. I like it very much, but it's the most unrewarding of all the grape varieties. It's got no cream. It's got very little depth. It's got no exotic fruit. It's got no sort of love me, you know, and yet it's getting to be the most widely consumed wine. Very unfortunate. I tell you what, if you want to beat the big boys at their game, give Sauvignon Blanc the bum's rush this year and see if you can do a year as a consumer with alternate grapes. There is thousands and thousands of grape varieties. Why do we keep going for the same ones? These two wines are practically indistinguishable. This one is, for my taste, I think it's a more pure wine. It's better. It's much better crafted. It's got lemon and lime, but this one's got lime and peach. They're both good for the money, but let's see if we can do the big boys down a bit, give them a bit of a muddle. The only reason they pump out so much Sauvignon is that we buy so much Sauvignon. So let's stop buying Sauvignon and see what they do. That'll have the wine industry in a puzzle, won't it? Follow winezo.uk daily for tips, news, reviews and interviews within the wine industry from the consumer's eye point, as all I'm interested in is giving the consumer the best bang for their buck. But let's see what the wine world does if we stop drinking their favourite grape variety. Oh, I wonder. That'll have them in a puzzle, won't it? They're both fantastic. Try and avoid them for 20